Hey everyone, and welcome to our Heritage Home Family Farm podcast, where we like to talk about the unconventional ways that we farm here in Southeast Idaho, Zone 5. We have learned lots in our small amount of time here on the farm, and we are not in any way experts, but really, who is?
Yeah, who is? And we just want to share our journey along the way with you guys. Hopefully it's encouraging to you to know that maybe you don't have to take a conventional pathway. Maybe wherever you are is somewhere that will work out fine. We find ourselves here in Southeast Idaho, where it's kind of famous for potatoes. And
the cold.
But we moved here. We always loved French fries and potatoes, but Southeast Idaho phenomenon is the classic fry sauce.
Yeah, they even have a potato museum here.
Yeah, the whole potato museum in this
thing.
little town just down the road from us. But French fries, man, we experienced kicking up French fries a notch. And
here. It was transformational. We didn't realize how many sauces that you could have for French fries. Like, our minds were blown.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Every restaurant you go to has a different version of some sort of fry sauce. Everybody's got a different version of seasoning for their fries. And so in our true fashion, wanting to eat at home a lot and then wanting to clean up those ingredients, we developed, for our pleasure and for yours, a fry seasoning. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can see this. This is our fry seasoning. It comes in a 7-ounce packet, and it is delicious on those potatoes. You sprinkle it on either after you've deep fried them, or you sprinkle it on wedges and you throw them in the oven and you broil them or roast them that way. Really, really good. And it comes with a couple of different recipes for fry sauces and burger spreads. This is the quintessential one-in-all seasoning for all those delicious things, and all natural ingredients. Sea salt, no MSG, no anti-caking agents, no hidden weird sweeteners or maltodextrin or any of that stuff that is constantly being added to our food supply. And it really is quite simple with it to make your own of all those delicious things. All your fry sauce, all your burger spreads. Really, really kick up your barbecue season. It doesn't even have to be barbecue season, man. We eat hamburgers and French fries year round at our house. And it's really, really good. So heritagehomefamilyfarm.com is where you can check that out. And you can find us at the local farmers markets this summer. Idaho Falls, for sure, we are in.
We're in. We just found out. Yay!
Yeah, we are in Idaho Falls. We are there almost every Saturday all summer. I think we're only missing 2 out of the 6-month season. And then we have also applied for another local farmers market in Driggs, Idaho. That's kind of between us and Jackson, and you will hopefully find us there. So we'll keep you updated on that one. But everything that you do that supports these Spices supports our family legacy building here on the farm, where we're constantly developing our property and hopefully sharing that wisdom along the way with you guys.
Yeah, we're really excited. Thank you guys so much for all of your support and encouragement. Also, if you like and subscribe to these videos, it helps us get the word out, and we are just so honored that you would be interested in our story.
Yeah.
Which is what we have for you today, is to talk about Great Pyrenees. We like to call them the polar bears of the farm.
Yes. We had our eye on a Great Pyrenees for all of the livestock protection needs from the very first, when we knew we wanted to have a little farm out here and have some livestock. Obviously, the more rural you are, the more you have to combat coyotes and raccoons and skunks, all kinds of critters, and unfortunately out here, and sadly sometimes even stray dogs are a big problem for livestock out here. And so it was on our mind to get a dog to watch over our place and protect everything, but also looking for a breed that wasn't gonna also kill the livestock.
Yeah, and specifically since we live in Southeast Idaho, this breed needed to be a dog, obviously, but needed to be a breed that would withstand the cold temperatures year round. Needed to be able to be outside year round.
Yeah, it's not a friendly environment out here. We've had a couple weeks recently where for weeks at a time, the highs were in the 20s. And so looking for a dog that would really weather those conditions with the other animals. Of course, they have shelter and plenty of places to get out of the snow, out of the wind, but the ambient temperature is chilly.
And let me tell you, we're going to tell you about what dog we got, but this dog loves the cold. Before you start to be like, oh, that poor dog, is outside when it's below freezing. This dog rallies when it is cold. He is like almost lethargic when it is hot, right? In the summer, totally is his season in the winter.
Yeah, he gets all riled up. He runs around. He thinks it's the greatest. And then it'll be like the snow will be coming down and he won't even sit under the shelter. He'll go and sit out on the snowbank and stare into the wind.
He loves it.
Yeah, it's his favorite.
Okay, so there's many different livestock guardian dogs. LGD out there.
Many. Lots of choices to choose from. And, it's been interesting on social media. There's even some new crosses that people are trying in some different combinations of popular livestock guardian dogs. But we decided to go with kind of a more tried and true breed and from somebody that we met that was just really, really incredible and does a great job breeding these dogs.
Yes, so we decided to get a Great Pyrenees, and we thought originally we were just going to get on the list of the person Darren was talking about because they have these puppies come up for sale every so often, and we just weren't ready in our minds yet to have a Great Pyrenees until we had livestock for the dog to guard.
Yeah, and it was kind of that chicken before the egg, cart before the horse, which way do you go with it? And we're just really working hard that first year to build infrastructure out here.
And we knew we wanted a puppy.
Yeah, we wanted the opportunity to train this dog from little. Now, these Great Pyrenees, they take several years to train, but it seemed wise to us at least that we thought, we'll wait till we actually have some livestock. Then we'll introduce this dog into that kind of new situation.
Yeah, so we thought we were just going to put our name on the list, and then we got a call from Ariel.
Yes, and they had one of their puppies kind of fall through.
Yeah, the person that was going to get the puppy had some kind of family crisis.
Yeah, and so it just really turned out to be a great, great gift from God. That she was looking to get rid of this dog that needed a new home and for a very, very reduced price. We got Ranger.
That's what we named him.
Our beloved male Great Pyrenees, and he is kind of the variety, I guess. His coloring is all white.
So it looks fabulous in the snow.
And he is polar bear.
He is. And so Ariel at the Red Brick House.
Yeah, Red Brick Farm House.
We'll have to make sure to tag her. She does some amazing work that they have animals on their farm. They have children.
Yeah.
They live in Idaho, so it was perfect for us. It was on the other side of Idaho State, but it was a total reasonable.
It's a day trip.
Drive, yeah. And she does testing on her dog for behavioral testing to see what she would recommend best suits the dog.
Yeah, what's the personality of that individual dog, right. Not just the breed as a whole. Now, the breed as a whole, a couple things to know about a Great Pyrenees, I think, that are really important. And I don't know what is first on the list other than they are not pets.
If you are buying them for your livestock. There are a lot of people who choose to get Great Pyrenees as pets from my experience now having a Great Pyrenees, that is just not something that I would personally do. Not because they're not great with family or kids. They're wonderful.
Oh, they're great with people.
Wonderful with people.
Yeah.
But they are huge, hairy.
Yes.
Prefer to be outside.
Yes.
Bark nonstop, which is a gift. I mean, it's what they're bred for.
But if you do want one as a pet,
be warned.
You better count on the space, because they do want space.
And they do want a purpose. Like, they want a job.
Oh, he was a troublemaker without a job.
He's total troublemaker. Yeah, okay, so he lives with our goats. But before we had goats, he lived by himself.
Yes.
And I think he was just bored. Like, I think
100%.
He was just trying to figure out what to do with
and a
his
puppy.
life. And a puppy. And then when we got our goats bred, we sent them to our goat farmer friend, who you probably hear about every podcast because they're like our favorites. And he was so lonely. Yeah. It was kind of sad.
Yeah, it was just like 4 or 5 weeks, but it was not his favorite time.
No. He has, like I said, a purpose. Yeah. Like, he has a job and he does it fabulously.
A really interesting example of this is, like, when he was living by himself, we tried like a heated water bowl, and he destroyed that in like 2 days. And he would really just destroy anything that was in his realm. And then you let him out and you let him run around, because we knew, like, this dog needs the attention. He needs the exercise.
And he had a big kennel.
Yeah, too. But not like the attention, not like lovey-dovey pet attention, but like he wants to go and do something with you. And so we would walk and walk and walk around the property.
It's about a half a mile around the property.
But he will not listen. He's just very independent.
Which is a trait of Great Pyrenees.
Yes. And it's a good trait, because they need to have a mind of their own. They need to think.
Have like autonomy over their space.
Right.
To protect the livestock.
But it's a trait of theirs. And so he's not interested in being trained to walk on a leash next to you. And he, if he's happy and has a purpose,
like, he will follow those kids around.
Yeah, then he'll follow you around. He'll follow the kids around. He'll stay with his space now. But before he had a purpose, he just wanted to adventure. He wanted to just like
go
straight for the fence line. I'm on my own mission. I'm checking things out, and I'm not interested at all in coming back.
We did. I mean, I know this is a little all over the board, but that is just kind of how Great Pyrenees are and how our experience has been. Yeah. But when we were researching Great Pyrenees, there was a couple cautions, like, don't train them to treats because they'll figure out something better. And they don't really do good with like shock collars either, because they're so massive that it just doesn't really penetrate. But we decided, because we have 10 acres that are unfenced, because we bought an alfalfa field, that we really wanted to try an electric GPS collar.
Yeah, like a geofence type of.
Yeah. And it, like, we had to shave some of the hair to like get it down there. And it wasn't even like, it wasn't as shocking as the goat fences right now.
No.
Which we have an electric goat fence. But he really did train to it much better than reviews said that he would.
Yeah, really, really quickly. Just I think a combination of being with him and giving him a verbal command when we knew that he was headed for a fence line. Yeah. That was then paired with that geofence. And now, even without that, he does really well. Like, if you let him out of the goat fenced area and he's just running around, if you're out there, he's not going far.
Now, Great Pyrenees normally have a very protective instinct. And I would say for our dog, definitely he is protective of his space. Like, he'll bark all night, even if he hears a dog like a mile away. He'll bark. But
at first you kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
But then you realize that everybody else is losing chickens to raccoons and you're not.
Thank you, Ranger. We have lost 0 livestock so far since having Ranger. Yeah. But what I was going to say is, when he did the initial test, Ariel just communicated that maybe he wasn't as protective or like quick to defend his territory than some of the Great Pyrenees that she had. But we had a friend just recently that got a Great Pyrenees and another puppy, 2 of them. And the Great Pyrenees was like 2 years old, I think. And it wasn't a livestock dog, it was inside, but it did not get along with other dogs because it was like defending the space. We haven't had that problem though. We have another inside dog.
Yeah.
And they are like BFFs.
Yeah, they get along fine.
I'm so glad that the girl dog that we have inside is fixed because
might have some funky looking puppies.
Or they could be really cute. But that is something to be aware of if you do have a Great Pyrenees for safety if people are coming onto your property, for example. Just to be aware.
Yeah, and something that we really, that was on our mind when we got him. And trying to sort out, like, is he going to be free ranging on our property? Is he going to be in a fenced area with part of the livestock? What's his function really? And he is a high alert.
Yeah.
Like, he definitely lets you know anytime somebody turns down the driveway. Definitely lets you know anytime somebody's walking in the field next door, or anybody else's dogs or any other critter.
Or tractors that are cutting hay.
But if it's his people that he's familiar with, or his people are around, he really knows. He really knows, like, once the cat is the same cat all the time, he stops barking at it because it doesn't pose a threat to him. And same with people. I think he maybe stopped barking at the UPS guy at some point this summer.
Because he gave him treats every time he came.
He still barks at every, like, other white van that pulls down the driveway. So
we do love our UPS driver.
Yes.
He's wonderful.
Yeah, he's great. But a really, 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 really great defender and high alert.
Yeah.
But I would say, we mentioned the wintertime, he is more frisky. But overall, not like a high energy, crazy animal. Like you look out and most of the time you just see him laying around.
Yeah, and they said that they could be a little bit nocturnal in that because they're on high alert throughout the night, that they do lay around a lot during the daytime. And that is true of Ranger for sure. Also for Great Pyrenees, they're not great at commands. So when you're trying to train them, word of advice to us was to just focus on a few simple commands. Down was important. Come, but not to focus on like stay or sit or shake or things like that. Because I guess what Darren said right in the beginning is so important, and it was probably the best wisdom that was given to us because we've had dogs in the past, but they were family dogs.
Like pets.
And if you're really trying to train and have a livestock dog, they need to be treated like a working dog.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that was like not like you give him attention, of course, and he wants to be your friend. I think
he wants to be Darren's friend. He loves Darren.
He responds really well to positive, positive commands, especially that are related to food and treats. But yeah, definitely the caution was not to treat him like a pet.
Like, don't wrestle him when he's a puppy.
Right.
Or else he's going to wrestle your kid goats.
Yeah.
Right?
And we had some friends that had some experience with that.
Yes.
And they're like, we almost ruined this one dog because we made wrestling a game when they were little, and then they had a hard time, like, not wrestling everything that they
and then
moved.
They're so cute when they're little.
Oh, they're cute.
Fluffy and little cotton ball.
But now they're bigger than all of our children.
Huge.
Yes.
Like, we got a lab golden retriever mix, which is a larger dog.
Yeah.
And it looks like a chew toy next to Ranger. And not that Ranger chews on.
No, but
so small.
Like half the size or less.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And yeah, we have like the goat area right now has just the regular cattle panels. They're like 4 feet tall. And Ranger, no problem, will put his entire paw and foreleg over the top of that 4-foot cattle panel and lick you in the face if he thinks you're close enough, just because he's excited. He's excited to see you when you go out there and say hi to him.
So we are new to Great Pyrenees, so we're just sharing some of our current experience that we've had, things that we've learned from others. And one thing that's in the back of our mind is, because they are a livestock dog and a large dog, their time of life is shorter than like a smaller inside family pet dog. And so we're processing, okay, when do we get the next Ranger? When do we get the next Great Pyrenees? So that Pyrenees can be trained by Ranger.
Yeah. And something we had success with just pets of ours. And it really does make a difference if you have an experienced animal that you have trained, that knows the area, that knows the space. They are going to have a tendency to lead that next one, hopefully in good habits that you have developed. I would say, too, one thing that's interesting about Great Pyrenees that I've heard and read is if you are free ranging them, like if you have no fence and they're not in a contained area with other animals, some people have said that their natural range is like 50 acres, which is huge. And I think that played into our dog's tendency
to want
to check out all the neighbors' houses. And I'm so poor at naming other breeds, but there are some other breeds of livestock dogs that their natural range is smaller.
Yeah, isn't the Colorado Mountain Dog?
Might be.
It's a newer breed.
Yeah, but there's an older, like English or German breed that has a kind of a smaller range too. But we don't have experience with those dogs and their temperament per se. But I would encourage you, read, a lot of the things that we read about Great Pyrenees really have played out to be true. And he's been successful in a smaller, we have 10 acres. And he's been successful in that space too. He's not unhappy.
No, and he's still a puppy. It takes multiple years for them to come out of their puppy phase.
Yeah, is he just about to turn 2?
Yeah, I think I read like 3 years for them. I mean, he's definitely a lot different now, though, than he was when he was a puppy.
Yeah, a great dog. So if you have problems with animals getting into your livestock, wild animals or stray dogs.
Yeah, that's sad.
We had, I mentioned we had multiple neighbors lose chickens to multiple different stray or loose dogs.
Like literally neighbors that like touch our property.
Yeah.
Like 3 different ones that touch our property. Lost chickens this last summer to a dog, and we had the most chickens of everyone,
and we didn't lose any chickens,
and our chickens are free range.
Yeah, they were running around everywhere,
and I think it's just the intimidation of Ranger.
Yeah, because he, not aggressively, but he has chased other dogs off the property.
Yeah,
and I've never thought he's gonna kill that dog, but he does. He marks it out as his space, and he runs around.
Another interesting thing about Idaho, like to wrap this up, that we're new to, because we are from Oregon and we're from the city, so we're learning, homesteading and country life. But in Oregon, it was that you were responsible to fence in your dog.
Right.
And here in Idaho, you're responsible to fence out dogs.
Yeah.
So dogs can come onto your property and you are responsible to
keep them off.
And so Ranger plays a big part in that for us.
Yeah, and as a dog owner here in Idaho, your risk is that everybody also feels the license to remove your dog by any force necessary if your dog ends up on their property bothering their livestock. So there is risk in just letting your dog go anywhere.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to get in trouble for letting their dog go anywhere. You do have to be responsible to protect
what you have,
what is yours. So
interesting conversation. Hopefully it kind of like sparks some ideas about Great Pyrenees or livestock guardian dogs. And hopefully you heard some positive things from us about them. Also, some realistic information about Great Pyrenees.
Yes, indeed. And we hope, as always, you like, subscribe, follow along. If this is encouraging to you, look out for a deal. Find those local breeders, people in your community that have access to and are breeding, because they are awesome, awesome animals. Hope you guys have a great